Hello students, I am Dr. Himanshu Kandpal, Assistant Professor English, Government MS College for Women, Bikaner. In this English language class today, we are going to discuss basics of phonetics, and we will also discuss what is linguistics, phonetics, throw ample light on branches of phonetics, and discuss what is RP and IPA. What is the importance of language in our lives? Language is one of the distinctive characteristics of human beings. Why it is called as distinctive characteristic of human beings? Because we make use of language for the purpose of communication. Without formal instruction, we learn from infanthood, from infancy, the skills that we need to be successful users of a language. No one teaches us language but from infancy or from childhood without any formal kind of instruction. We can come in contact with the language and we become successful users of a language, which actually happens in case when we learn the mother tongue. For most of us, this will be spoken language, or we can say our mother tongue that we learn easily or acquire easily. Though for some it will be sign language. The children who are not able to hear, for them it is not easy to learn the spoken language. In acquiring language, we learn words and how to put them together. We learn to link words and sentences. We learn how to use these structures to get what we want to say, how we feel, and to form social bond with others. So, we can say that we make use of language for the purpose of communication. Language learning is an active process that begins at birth and continues throughout life. Child acquire their mother tongue through interaction with their parents. Now we will discuss what is linguistics. Language can be used in two ways for the purpose of communication. We should always remember that language is used in two ways for the purpose of communication. What are these two ways? It can be spoken or written medium. First is spoken medium, that is the primary medium of language, then written medium, that is the secondary medium. Why we call it spoken medium as primary medium? Because speech comes first in the history of any individual or any language community, and after that when we receive formal education, we acquire the written medium and used much more than the medium of writing. A learner first learns to produce the sounds of language correctly. When a child develops an interest toward a language, what he is going to do? He is going to produce the sounds of language correctly. First he is going to learn the sounds and then learn to organize these sounds correctly. Sounds of the language and manner in which they are organized make up the first level of the structure of language. Sounds of the language and manner in which they are organized make up the first level of the structure of language, which we study under linguistics. What is linguistics? Linguistics is the systematic study of the elements of language and principles governing their combination and organization. In linguistics, what we learn? First, we concentrate on individual sounds of the language, then we focus on the combination of these sounds into meaningful units. Then we concentrate on units into the larger utterances. Now we are going to discuss what is phonetics, but before that we are going to discuss linguistics Again, linguistics is the systematic study of language. Its main subdisciplines are syntax. First is syntax. This vocabulary is very important for the students who are preparing for the competitive exams. Syntax is the study of sentence structure. Second is semantics, the study of meaning. When some sentence is given, we do the study of meaning. Pragmatics is the study of meaning in context. Then comes morphology, the study of word structure. Sociolinguistics, the study of language in its social context. Phonology, the study of sound systems. And last, phonetics, the study of the sounds of speech. Linguistics is a very vast area. It has many disciplines such as syntax, semantics, pragmatics, morphology, sociolinguistics, phonology and phonetics. Here in this lecture, we are concerned with phonetics. Why we are talking about linguistics? Because phonetics is a branch of linguistics. We should always remember that phonetics is a branch of linguistics and it is a branch dealing with medium of speech. It deals with production, transmission and reception of the sounds of human speech. What is phonetics? Phonetics is a branch of linguistics dealing with the medium of speech, what we speak. It deals with the medium of speech. It deals with production. Production means how we produce the sounds, how we transmit the sounds and how the receiver receives that sounds of human speech. It means it deals with the communicative aspect of language. So, next we are going to discuss phoneme. This vocabulary is important. Again, I am telling you that this vocabulary is important for the students who are preparing for competitive exams. Phoneme is the smallest unit of speech in a language that distinguish one word from another. All the words are not similar. How to distinguish that this word is different from another is we can look at the smallest unit of speech that distinguish word from another. For example, s in sip and z in zip. S and z both are the smallest unit of speech in a language that distinguish one word from another. Another term is phonology, is the term used for the study of speech sounds used in a particular language. Now we are going to talk about branches of phonetics. Phonetics is defined as the study of the sounds of human speech. Remember that. Study of the sounds of human speech. Speech is produced by the controlled movement of air through the throat, mouth and nose, more technically known as the vocal tract. Actually, we are talking about the articulatory system involved in the production of the speech sounds. The science of phonetics aims to describe all the sounds of all world languages. But here in this chapter, we are concerned with the production of English speech sounds. Phonetics has three main branches. Always remember that phonetics has three main branches. First is articulatory phonetics, second is acoustic phonetics and third is auditory phonetics. Articulatory phonetics, we are going to take the terms one by one. Articulatory phonetics focuses on how the vocal tracts produces the sounds of language. Articulatory phonetics examines the sounds of human language at the source of their production. It is going to look at the source of their production, from where the speech sounds are produced. Particular parts of the human body referred to as organs of speech. Keep in mind, organs of speech are used to articulate words. It includes voice box, the lungs, the oral cavity, the nasal cavity, the pharynx, the tongue, the teeth, the glottis, the lips and inner surfaces of the mouth. We are going to deal with the articulatory phonetics or this process of articulation in our next chapter. Second branch of phonetics is acoustic phonetics. If articulation is related to the production and production is related to organs of speech, acoustic phonetics focuses on the physical properties of the sounds of language. Listen carefully. The air travels from the speaker's mouth through the air to the hearer's ear. From the speaker's mouth to the hearer's ear through the forms of vibrations in the air, through the form of vibrations, sound waves. It studies the sound waves made by the human vocal organs for communication and the sounds and how the sounds are transmitted. Next is auditory phonetics. It focuses on how listeners perceive the sounds of language, how we perceive and hear sounds and how the ear, brain and auditory nerve perceives the sound. Again we are going to look at the branches of phonetics and it will be very clear. When we look at the definition of phonetics, it says that production, that is related to articulatory, production, transmission, that is related to acoustics, auditory, that is related to receiving, perception of sounds of human speech, articulation, articulatory is related to the sounds produced by the organs of speech, acoustic is related to the sound waves made by the human vocal organs and auditory it related to how we perceive and hear sounds. In the next slide we are going to discuss why the study of phonetics is important for us. One of the most important application of phonetics is in teaching foreign languages. It is easy to learn mother tongue because from infancy, from childhood, we remain in constant touch with it. Family is the first unit where we learn our mother tongue. But as far as other languages is concerned, as far as foreign language is concerned, in our case it is English. English is taught in India as a second language and it requires we should concentrate on the proper aspects of learning English so that it doesn't hassle with our communicative aspect. Phonetics has brought new insights to the teaching of English pronunciation. When we say foreign language, we are concerned with English language and we are concerned with the communicative aspect of English language or English pronunciation. Phonetics helps us in decoding words and pronouncing it correctly, because in phonetics we learn the speech sounds. It improves our fluency and accent, helps in inducing a reading habit. When we are going to learn the speech, when we are going to learn the 44 sounds of English, we are never going to fear and we are going to develop the better pronunciation skills. We need to study phonetics so that we can improve our pronunciation by studying to produce each sound of standard English correctly. Here we are talking about standard English. we should remember one thing, that every language has its own characteristics and there are sounds in English then one might not use in his her language, and sounds in your language that we might not use in English. Every language differentiate from each other and it has its own sound system. We have only 26 letters in the alphabet, but modern English uses 44 different sounds which we are going to learn, that is vowel and consonant sounds that we are going to learn in our further chapters. Some other points to remember when we deal with phonetics. In phonetics, RP stands for received pronunciation. What we are going to learn? We are going to learn received pronunciation, that is called as RP, and is used to describe an accent that people from England have. This question is frequently asked in exams. What is RP? The accent is commonly referred to as Queen's English, BBC English or Oxford English. The term received pronunciation was introduced and described by phonetician Alexander Ellis in his book Early English Pronunciation. So, what is RP? RP is accent that is commonly referred to as Queen's English, BBC English or Oxford English or Standard English. The next is International Phonetic Alphabet. IPA is a system where each symbol is associated with particular English sound. The 44 symbols used in English that are given to us by International Phonetic Association, that is International Phonetic Alphabet given by International Phonetic Association. By using IPA you can exactly know how to pronounce a certain word in English. This helps in improving English pronunciation. The International Phonetic Alphabet that is given by International Phonetic Association is important because it tells us how to pronounce a certain word in English, which helps in improving English pronunciation. IPA, that is International Phonetic Association, seeks to promote the science of phonetics and its practical applications. It was founded in 1886 in France. The symbol from the International Phonetic Alphabet is used in phonetic transcription. The symbol from the International Phonetic Alphabet is used in the phonetic transcription in modern dictionaries for English learners. So, we are going to sum up what we have studied in the e-content. What we have studied: phonetics is a branch of linguistics dealing with production, transmission and reception of sounds of human speech. Knowledge of phonetics is necessary to have command over standard English and to learn the correct pronunciation to develop our communicative skills. Some of the recommended readings, it means like when you would like to learn the proper symbols or the phonetic symbols or the sound system, you can refer to some books like Daniel Jones, An Outline of English Phonetics, A.C. Gibson's An Introduction to the Pronunciation of English, Cambridge English Pronouncing Dictionary, Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. In the next chapter, in the next e-content, we are going to learn organs of speech, and we are going to talk about vowel and consonant sounds, that is the 44 sounds of English. I hope you liked the video. Please share, like and subscribe.